Welcome to the Unity Breakfast 2015, hosted by the Muskegon Community College. This is our 19th annual breakfast. Can you believe it? 19 years. 19 years. And as Bill just said, it just feels like it's just becoming family and everyone is getting so well connected. And it's so good to see everyone on this new year. This event has just become an event that just brings everyone together throughout the community, bringing us together, just sharing our ideas, providing us an opportunity to really promote the legacy and the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We're just so glad to see so many of you here. Look around, the tables are filled and the energy is already in the air and just getting ready for our speaker. And as we really think about Dr. King's memory today, we want to just keep in mind how we can continue to bring forward his vision in the Muskegon community. We at the Muskegon Heights Public School Academy System, we realize that we are an important part and have a responsibility of keeping his dream alive and keeping that vision alive. And that's why we're proud to be one of the sponsors today and just grateful to have an opportunity to participate, to be engaged with the community in this conversation. In addition, we're pleased to host the event tomorrow. You're going to hear so much more about it, where Mr. Hall will be at the Muskegon Heights High School Academy at a forum. We invite everyone out. If you know a young person, please invite them to come out 9 o'clock tomorrow, but I know you'll hear more. At this time, we're going to get started with the program, and we'd like to introduce and welcome Dr. Dale Nasberry, who will bring the welcome as he is our host from Muskegon Community College. Welcome, President Dale.
Well, welcome and good morning, folks. Good morning. Oh, that wasn't bad. I'm impressed. At 8 a.m. on a Friday morning. Well, good morning and welcome indeed to Muskegon Community College and the 19th annual breakfast. It's amazing. This is number 6 for me, and it's hard to believe that we have this kind of crowd in this community. But let me just tell you a quick little story about why I think this is important. About a month ago, we had some folks in from, I'll say, around the country in our community, helping support Muskegon in our health. It's an initiative, as you know, the Muskegon people, the Way to Wellville. We're one of 5 communities that are basically working to bring money into the community through this group. It's called, of all things, HICCUP, a very supportive group of health around the country. Now, the group met earlier in the day with a group of health, business, community, education leaders. And we had a great session, and it went really well. So, 3 or 4 hours passed. In the evening, the same group of people came to a community forum that was focused on Muskegon, not Muskegon, but the community's police and young people, and why and how we can work together and more effectively work together, I should say, as a community. Now, that impressed me because these people came to Muskegon to help us with respect to health, but they also came to see how we behave when we don't know that they are here. They were evaluating us as a community. They wanted to see how we treat each other when we are not expecting to see people who are evaluating us. So that said a lot to me about how we were being evaluated and how they feel about what we are as a community. And this event tells me that we are the people that they'd like to see us be. We do come together on an occasional basis, and we do see each other more than just at church on Sundays. That's important. And just from one person's perspective, it was very gratifying to me that they saw us in a time when we could be presenting our best and presenting our worst. And I gathered from the conversations I had after meeting with them, they were pleased. They were happy. We weren't just a community putting on a good face. We meant business, and this is what that's all about. This group. So I think you should all give yourselves a round of applause for that. Now, I'd also like, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Muskegon Community College, to welcome you here. Our Board of Trustees, they're sitting at one of the front tables. They're trying to hide, but I'm not going to let them hide here. I'm going to ask them all to stand and be recognized. Please, Board of Trustees, if you could, stand and be recognized by the crowd. Thank you very much. And I ask them to stand because some of you know that we have a major construction initiative ongoing here on campus. And it's because of the board's pushing and prodding and cajoling us internally and the community that this is happening. It's not just downtown, and everyone thinks it's downtown. That's all we're doing, but we have a science building that's going up right now. Take a walk around campus, you'll see it about 200 yards that away. We have a gymnasium and health center that's going to be constructed in about a year. And we are also going to redo our technology building where engineers, manufacturers, electronics folks, they're moving downtown, and we're going to move our art and our music into that building. Now, Greenbrook was performing a little while ago, and I know that some of the folks in that group had a major influence on folks in this room and myself. And it's all of what we do here is important from my perspective. I thank them for the work that they're doing. Now, my final job is to thank our sponsors, and I will walk through the list of sponsors here, and if you could hold your applause until we reach the end of the list. Alcoa Howmet, and I know they're here. The City of Muskegon, I know they're here as well. The Community Foundation for Muskegon County, the MAISD, our colleagues, Baker College, Mercy Health Partners, Williams and Hughes Attorneys at Law, Muskegon Public Schools, the Muskegon Heights Tigers, and a Muskegon Community College. So if we could have a round of applause for all of those folks as well. And finally, I know that there are a number of elected officials here. I shaken hands with a few this morning. Local, state, I know there's some federal representatives here as well. If you could all please stand and be recognized as well. Any elected officials? Okay, come on folks, don't be shy, please. Byron, come on, stand up here. And at that note, I will turn the mic over to, I believe, Pastor Rick Krantz. Yes, sir. Right.
Would you bow with me as we pray? God, how we love you today and how we thank you for your great hand of mercy upon us. How we thank you that you've been our God, you are our constant help, you are our friend, you are our shelter, you are our provider and our protector, and we thank you. As we gather this weekend, we ask that you would bring wisdom among us, that your will and your way will be so best in our hearts and in our minds, that we may be able in this community to carry out the great call of humanity, that we may be able to bring people of every color, every nationality to the common goal of unity among us. Would you please give us wisdom of insight, whereby we may proclaim the great message of reconciliation, that lives will be changed, families will be strengthened, communities will be healed. We thank you in advance for what you are doing and what you will do. Would you please speak to our speaker as he shall share with us words of wisdom and insight. And in the close, we will constantly give you glory for your great name and your great work. It's in the name of Christ we pray. Amen.
Good morning. My name is John Severson, and I'm the Muskegon Area ISD Superintendent. And it is my vision that we have every student graduate in this county. And to do that, it takes a lot of things to make that happen. So to be somewhat selfish, my goal is to get something very strong from this so I can hear that message, so I can take that back, so I can work with others. And would the educators in this room please stand so we can recognize those people who are going to help us with that vision. So before I introduce Wes, one of the things we have to recognize that he came from LA, so if any of you have traveled, that's a pretty grueling trip to come this way across the United States. And I was
right about that.
I was told to spend some time with him, and as you could see, he was around the crowd here. We've had like a few moments just to speak. But last night when I was reading his bio, I pulled out the passion of what that bio really stood for. And if you have the opportunity, would you please open your program to that bio and really take into context what that bio specifically says. Because what it does is it really provides a picture of a legacy of someone who's very passionate about making a difference and someone who is come across the country to tell us his message. Wes Hall is one of the nation's leading experts in the area of working with boys of color. As an educational consultant to Los Angeles Unified School District, he provides professional development to teachers throughout the district in the area of relationship building and success strategies for engaging disengaged students. As an independent contractor for Los Angeles School District, he works to empower students at Crenshaw, Dorsey, Washington Prep, Hollywood High, and Augusta Hawkins High School. One of his current consulting projects includes working with elementary school in Watts, California. The school is among the 1,000 worst performing school in the state. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's really a tough task. When I read that last night, I said, I can't imagine 1,000? That's a really big deal. And I think just that alone says this person has so much passion to make a difference. In 2001, Wes was selected and featured in the nationally published Black Enterprise magazine and was named Successpert. So I'm sure you're going to tell us what that really means. He was featured in the Washington Post newspaper for his innovation work with boys of color and his creative approach to helping teachers build successful relationships with students who come from diverse backgrounds. Wes is author of You Are the Money. He recently released his new children's book, Jack and the Sly Fox. The book helps young readers understand how to use their natural gifts and talents to attract wealth and abundance. He is the host of a weekly radio program entitled The You Are the Money Radio Show, which airs every Thursday at 11 a.m. on LA Talk Radio. Wes currently resides in Los Angeles, California, where he continues his ongoing work of positively impacting and transforming lives. So let's give him a round of applause for all that he does. Thank you.
Microphone check, check 1, 2. Can you guys check 1? No?
Yeah.
Check 2. Hey. Where the party at? Listen, everyone thought I was going around the room this morning being friendly as a speaker and beating everybody, but really it's 5 o'clock in the morning in LA. Okay? So I just wanted to just let you know it wasn't that. I was just really trying to stay awake. And give John a round of applause. That was great, wasn't it? Did I get that right? My goodness, it's interesting. First of all, before I get started, my PowerPoint, I don't know that it's, Dan, where's Dan? Am I ready to rock and roll on the PowerPoint? Hey, well, you guys got it going on in Muskegon over here. Where's Dan? Dan Rinsema. Dan? He's gone. He's working. First of all, Dan and Pam, where's Pam? Pam Smith. Where you at, Pam? Okay. Matter of fact, we're on the committee members. Can the committee members all stand? Give a round of applause to our committee members. Awesome. Thank you very much. had a treat, was able to go out to dinner last night, and it's always a beautiful thing when you come to the city and the dinner is free. Oh, don't get it twisted. That's why I come to the city. I'm not. Don't fool yourself. And there's a beautiful word that happens when you're traveling. And for those of you who travel a lot, there's this one great word, it's called upgrade. I got to the hotel last night. Dan took me to the front desk, and the lady, she was full of smiles. I guess she does a lot of work with Muskegon, and with the college here. And she says, guess what? We've upgraded you. Jacuzzi, oh, holla at your boy. Oh, by the way, I may have a little Ebonics in my jargon. So for those that need interpretations along the way, I used to be a DJ prior to writing my books. Clear Skies, 85-year chance to win Power Pass is right around the corner. It's West Hall, Gender Live, inside the quiet store. So if I say something during my presentation and you don't quite get it, just say, DJ, bring that back. That's all you got to do, sir. Just DJ, bring that back. And I will break it down accordingly. Got a chance to meet some very nice folks here. Anytime I come to a city and I see this mesh of people, I see the police chief here, I see the other police, both police chiefs are in the house, right? Is that correct? Give them a round of applause for the police chiefs up here. Don't make me get started. I'm telling you, I'm sleepy, but I will go there. I will tell you what. And oh, by the way, let me clarify. There's a couple house rules before we get started. One of which is, there's some people in the room right now, as soon as I start smiling, they are ready to smile. Now, there's some of you in here that I can tell a joke and you process it differently. It takes you a little while to process the joke. I mean, you're the people that actually dance to the lyrics instead of the beat. He said boo, and I know it's him. He's like boo, as if I'm talking to somebody else. Don't make me have the band play some music. You'd be like, and some people are still. Aren't you supposed to dance to the lyrics? Okay, and then there's some of you in here that absolutely hate humor with your information. You're like, you know what? He is really annoying me. and guess what? Each one of you know who you are. Okay. Now, so I want to bring those house rules. How are you back there, sister? Yes, don't look around. Yes, you. She ain't laughed at all. Ain't broke a smile. You know who you are. How you doing, brother? I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. That's A personality. That's A personality right there. He's in charge. Okay, now, finally, I'm not doing all the talking today. Okay, there'll be some talking coming forth from you. So, as I'm asking questions, how you doing there, sir? Okay, I got you. Okay, now, there's going to be some need for you to be involved. Here's what happens in a situation before I get to the PowerPoint presentation. I love this room because it reminds me, for my lack of a better analogy, of the fact when Kobe and Shaq were with Los Angeles before Phil came. They had all the ingredients to win championships, but all they needed was Phil. Did you hear what I said? Yeah. They had all the ingredients to win multiple championships, but all they needed was Phil, and not realistically Phil, but an idea. Phil represented a coordinating idea that caused and created collective impact. You see what I mean? See, in every situation in life that we have found where mankind is looking to evolve, it's all a question of timing. It's when a situation reaches critical mass. You see? It's when we, as they say, reach the precipice, we change. And here this morning, having a group like this morning come together, so diverse, but yet have a common cause, a collective common cause, and that is that Muskegon be the absolute best it can be. Is that correct? Yeah. Give yourself a round of applause for that. Now, I am technology challenged, so if anything starts smoking, just back up. How you doing, sister? You ain't smiled much. You all right? Okay, now let me. Greatness. Can everybody see the PowerPoint? Greatness is in there. I've written a couple books. They talked about You Are the Money. I wrote this book when I was broke. Oh, you sound like my friends. My friend, I was writing this book called You Are the Money, and my friend said, Les, how can you write a book about money and you're broke? I said, thank you, I love you too. But what I found as a radio personality traveling around the country is even though I had the backstage passes, I was the one on stage, I was broke. And I found out as a boy from the ghetto, who always was chasing after money because money looked so good. Wasn't she fine? Money's fine. And so, could never get her hands on it. She was elusive as well. And even though I had all the backstage passes, I could never get any money. And then I found the key, I found the secret. And I found out it is not the external pursuit of wealth. It is the internal development of self. Self-development equals wealth development. You are the money. Did you get that? Watch this again. That is how I'm transforming students all around the country and eventually all around the world. It's because until they understand, it's the internal mastery of self. If you want to make $1 million, you have to become worth $2 million. Self-development equals wealth development. You are the money. Turn to somebody next to you and say, I am the money. Okay. Now turn to somebody on the other side and say, you are the money. Give me some round of applause on that. I also wrote another book, and my new children's book is called Jack and the Sly Fox. I was trying to simplify this process, and I was trying to give it to kids. But I was so technical in my approach that I couldn't do it. And one day I just threw the manuscript on the table and I went to bed. The next day I woke up and Jack and the Sly Fox was in my hand. I mean, it's one of the things for any writer or any creators in the room. Sometimes some things come completely out of your head and all you become is the conduit from which it flows. And my fingers were on that computer and I'm telling you what I was going as quick as I could, but I thought I was going pretty fast. And the book came out. And it was about how do you use your natural gifts and talents to attract wealth. As a radio personality, I've used my voice. I've used my work, my pen as a writer to attract wealth. And so I try to help kids understand through the Voice Project, how do they use their voice to attract wealth. And when you start talking to kids, like John was saying, I'm at 112th Street Elementary School in Los Angeles. It borders the Nickerson Projects, one of the most notorious projects in Watts, if you look it up. And these kids, a lot of times, appear hopeless because they come from intergenerational poverty. Great-grandmama was in the hood, grandmama, mama, and now daughter. All they know is poverty. So by the time they come in and we start talking about the power of your voice, you'll be amazed at what these kids understand. Because one thing we have to understand about children that is critical, and it's not just children, but adults as well, is that intelligence is not static. I'll let you process it for a minute. Intelligence is not static. Intelligence is fluid. So therefore, if there's not a learning problem, is there a teaching problem? And if there's a teaching problem, we have to give the strategies necessary to empower the teachers to be able to empower the students. Let's see, I'm gonna holler at y'all a little. I'll holler at y'all a little bit. I can't be. They say, Wes, you can't say you're gonna holler at the people. I'm gonna talk with you this morning about a couple things. African American males, a group in crisis, building an effective relationship with young men of color, and keeping the flame of hope alive. This is interesting when we start talking about hope. And I'm not going to necessarily deviate. If I do deviate sometimes, I get caught up on one. And could you kind of like, DJ, could you please go back to what you're talking about? Keeping the flame of hope alive, I have found as a person who grew up in the inner city and in the ghetto, a matter of fact, we were so poor that by the time we got to poverty, we were balling. Appreciate you. I didn't see you laugh back there, man. I'm in the green shirt right there. I'm just going to bust you out right now. The beat, man, the beat. Okay. Yeah, by the time we got to poverty, we were balling. Food stamps? Oh, we were out of control. Oh, food stamps? Real soda? No Kool-Aid today? What is going on? Okay, so I'll talk about that a little bit, but I've got to jump through this thing because they'll get on me. Here's a question I like to pose in the conversation so that we can get on the right track. When does the brain stop learning? Never? Somebody said, wait a minute, hold on. Somebody said at 8 o'clock in the morning when the speaker shows up. Oh, you're laughing far too much. I'm the speaker right away. That's when the brain stops learning. Sir, when the brain stops learning, when you're dead? Anybody else got anything on that? When you get Alzheimer's? That's for me this morning. Okay, anybody else? What you got on that, man? When the brain stops learning?
I don't think it does.
It doesn't? It's a setup question. It's a setup question. Actually, the brain stops learning the moment a habit is formed. That's why you never went back to learn how to tie your shoe differently. I guarantee you tonight when you go to take a shower or whenever your rotation is, everybody got different rotations. I'm good. See what I'm saying, man? Some people don't like humor with their information. You can't just be all funny. Say something, right? Okay. Right. No, whenever your rotation is, you'll find that this hand knows exactly when the soap is coming. If you drop the soap, it'll start all over again. Dennis Waitley put it like this. I have a little robot that lives inside of me. I tell it what I'm thinking. I tell it what I see. It used to be I controlled the robot. Now the robot, each and every time you take a shower, it's the same. Now somebody says, there's a smart person in there today. And he's not going to tell me how I take a shower. I'm going to start with my knee. That'll happen for one day. I have a little robot that lives inside of me. I tell it what I'm thinking. I tell it what I see. It used to be I controlled the robot. Now the robot watches me. Anybody ever got home and didn't know how you got there? The car drove you home? or the car took a wrong turn? How did the car didn't take a... So therefore, what am I really trying to say in a simplified manner is that we are nearly a compilation of habits. It used to be 30 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, that you were able to make an assessment of who a person was that you came into contact with. Because back in the day, we didn't have cell phones. Back in the day, we had 3 channels on the television. Remember that? And if you wanted to change it, what did you have to do? Get up! You had to get up! Okay, then all of a sudden, I mean, and think about that big cell phone. That thing was a weapon. That was a weapon. But because of that, there were 30 seconds that you had before you made a critical assessment of who a person was. Do you know what it's gone down to now? 15? 7? 5? You keep going down. 3. 3 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 3 seconds before someone makes a critical assessment. Let me give you an example of what it looks like. I went to a come and go a few months ago, and a young man was coming toward me, and my mind said, professional young man. Until I recognized he had a tie drawn on his t-shirt. Wait a minute, watch this. He's walking toward me, 3 seconds, professional young man, almost wanted to shake his hand, tie and t-shirt, oh God. Because of the millions and billions of bytes of information that the human mind has to digest and consume on a daily basis, we have created a filtering process in our minds. And therefore, we make analysis based on that 3 seconds that we come into contact with the individual. Why is this pertinent to the conversation? It's pertinent to the conversation because many people, ladies and gentlemen, are functioning right now out of antiquated programming. Picture your brain being a computer. Oh, don't do that. When's the last time you defragged it? When's the last time you defragged it? When was the last time you went in and analyzed the processes? Like at the age of 6, 7, 8 years old is when most people develop their personality. So from there, everything else is a mutation somewhat of that basic idea. So therefore, if you never go back in to reprogram your computer, you may in fact be operating on an antiquated programming. And everything you see justifies itself. There is a process of the human mind which is called conquered territory. Conquer territory means that an idea has lodged itself so deeply into your consciousness that it really removes itself from self-examination. DJ, bring that back. DJ, bring that back. Okay, money, for instance, is one of those conquered territories that people accept as a reality, unquestionable, to the point that it has lodged itself in the subconscious to the point of lack of examination. You can't even see how you think about it. Isn't that frightening? How dare him come and tell me about my brain? So the bottom line of it is if in fact you're functioning out of antiquated programming, how do we move forward into something new when we're lodged so stringently on something so old? That is why today is powerful, because life does not come down to the multitude of years, the multitude of words, but in a phrase or a quote we are changed. In a phrase or a quote, we are changed. In a time. See, Rosa Parks wasn't the first black woman who refused not to sit on the back of the bus. You do understand that, right? But all of a sudden, the timing occurred that produced a Martin at a time to where we could hear the message. The question: how well of a job is your district doing in helping students connect education to money? This is interesting. I sat across from the superintendent at Omaha Public Schools, Dr. John McKeel, and I said, John, how well are we doing as a district at helping connect kids, an A on the report card, to a $100 bill? And he didn't say, DJ, bring that back. But his facial expression said that. I said, John, how well are we doing as a district at helping economically challenged students who are living in survival mode understand how an A on the report card equals a pair of Nikes? He said, Wes, I don't think we're doing that. I said, do you mind if I pilot a program? He said, do you think? And so, I gotta keep a little. So we actually took a group of boys from Saginaw. Wait a minute, I got a pointer on this thing? Hey, Muskegon? Hey! Muskegon you got the pointer and everything. No. You can't say everything. You can't just come, right, you can't. Yeah, you gotta nudge me sometime, because if I hit them off or something like that, yeah, everything.
I'll pull your coat.
Pull my. Wes, did you just say everything? Okay, here we go. Okay, now, can anybody see? This is Elliot right here. Can you see him over here? Right there, right? This is JD right here. Can you see him over here? And this is my man Randall right here. Can you see him right here? Okay, now, what happened was, in working with my young people, I had to try to figure out what is this sagging thing all about? Has anybody ever sagged? First of all, everybody know what sagging is? Because some people, okay, everybody does? Okay, for those of you who don't, it's when the kids have their pants falling off their butts. Okay, now, I wanted to figure out what are they experiencing. So I came to school sagging. I almost brought my sagging gear for you guys today. But I said, no, I'm not gonna hurt them like that. I'm gonna hurt them. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so when did I come to school sagging? Now, here's what my kid said, Mr. West, you're really not sagging because your pants aren't down far enough. I said, I feel air here, son. I said, son, Mr. West feels air here. There shouldn't be air here, son. Now, here's the situation. You don't understand about sagging because you have to have the Timberlands on. You know the boots? Yeah. Now, here's the thing about boots when they're not tied up. You can hear every step you make. And these things are heavy. And because my pants are falling off, I've got to grab them with one hand. Then I've got the hoodie on. Now, what's interesting about the hoodie is you can hear yourself talking. You can literally hear yourself echoing. It's like you're in a chamber of some sort. And then I've got the hat turned to the side. Now, what was interesting about this is I've been working in this particular school for over 3 years. When I came to the school, and then, when you're sagging, it kind of makes you, you gotta get you know what I'm saying? Man, that ain't right. That ain't right. So Mr. West, you know, normally is here, right? But now Mr. West is with it. Okay, and so teachers who had been talking with me for years walked by me like this. They didn't even recognize me. My students who had been with me for 2 and 3 years, male students, walked by, didn't even look at me. I was tempted to bring the, if you look up the Sagan Experience on YouTube, you'll see me in my Sagan gear. I videoed the Sagan Experience, West Hall, the Sagan Experience. Oh, it is a mess. And so, my students didn't even look at me. And then when I went to class the next day, first when I went to class, they said, Mr. West, we didn't know. I said, you didn't recognize your boy? No, Mr. West, we didn't recognize you. You was looking crazy. I said I became invisible, didn't I? And I said to them, when you see Officer John drive down the street, do you see a man who's a father of 2 children? Do you see a man who gives to his church? Do you see a man who's got feelings and emotion, loves his wife? Or do you see 5-0? I said, so therefore, how come when you saw me in the hoodie, I became invisible? Because you didn't see Mr. West, did you? So therefore, when you put your hoodie on, when you put these things on, then you become whoever that represents. Because now I no longer see you as an individual. It went quiet. I'm saying that sometimes, in order to get a clear understanding, we hear the analogy of walk a mile in another person's shoes, right? So therefore, we have to walk a mile in each other's shoes to truly get an understanding of the complexities to which we're faced with. Took the boys to graduation.
Right.
You see him with the hats on. That's my boy, Elliot and Randall. Holla at your boy. We help them make the critical connection between quality education and future financial well-being. We found it didn't just resonate with our boys. It went farther than that. A new formula. No one ever told us this before. Let's see if this works out. This might not work because I don't see the little thing down there. It's just, is that, what's your name, young American? You don't know your direction. No, I'm teasing. Hey, take it easy. He was under a lot of pressure. I put him under a lot of pressure. Okay, take a breath now. Your name, sir? Tyler. Okay, hey Tyler, what's up, man? How you feeling? Okay, don't worry about that. Your computer, you're in there. Okay. My video. You see if they're. With our young people, you gotta work with them. You can't just be busting them out, making them feel bad. You gotta make them feel good. I told the man, he's a computer man. His name is not as important as those bytes of information. How can you? Woo, sweet Lord. Okay, now, what you doing, Tyler? See, okay, wait, hold on. There's a learning moment right there. Give a round of applause to Tyler, first of all, before you even get started. Tyler, come here, man. Now look. Look here, man, here's what's gonna happen. When you're making billions of dollars, they was laughing at you, I was. Okay, they were laughing. I want you to look at their faces, and I want you to see me, your boy, you understand me? And that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna ball out of control, algorithms, Facebook, all that, you and me. I'm with you. I'll make that happen, brother. Okay. That's how you gotta do it. You gotta get with them. Because you never know who the next big person is. I want to say this because I may forget it through the presentation. Everybody do this. Put your thumb in the air like this for a minute. Just put it up high. Put it up high. There you go. Wake up. Now rub it down. Now put it down. What you did there, no one on the planet is able to do. Out of the billions of people that are here, out of the trillions that will come when you're gone, no one else has your unique thumbprint.
Nobody's ever told us.
Hey. You get a little ambitious. Tyler, you're getting a little ambitious. DJ, I gotta do it. Okay, before I go to the thumbprint thing. Parents always ask me when I do parent training, and even teachers ask me, Wes, don't you ever get angry at children? Now there's some adults in here whose children really offend you. They push your buttons because what you're dealing with are professional button pushers. They've been learning how to they have been learning how to push buttons. And since what age? Huh? Third grade? First grade? Huh, baby? No, you're too late. You're too late. You're too late. Oh, wait, super. What did you say? In the womb. Mama, that's too spicy. Get off my head, Mom. You're dealing with human beings who have been learning how to push and throw buttons all their life. So when people ask me, Wes, don't you get angry with children sometimes? I said, absolutely not ever. Because that would be equivalent to me going home getting mad at their mother and father. Because when they show up, it's not them that shows up. Maybe you didn't hear me. When they show up, it's not them who's showing up. It's their mom and their dad. I am the professional. I understand the complexities unless it's a medicated situation. And even then, I'm going to try to give them some love medicine. But unless it's a medicated situation, which is really far extreme, that has mutated and morphed into something really out of control, I then understand that it's not the child standing before me who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a compilation of habits which he does not even understand that he is exhibiting. Kids are not functioning from here. Many times, they're functioning from a feeling. That's why they say to you, you don't feel me, dog. They didn't say you don't think me. So it's up to me to be able to understand what he's feeling. And then to understand the energy he's bringing to me. And I always have a more dynamic energy than him. But back to the thumbprint before time, it threw me off. Now, so, and I don't have a whole bunch of time. I got to keep going. Hold on, Tyler. I'm coming your way, man. You got me? Okay. I'll let you boy. Okay. It takes teamwork to make the dream work. Your thumbprint says that you're so powerful, you're so one of kind, you're so dynamic, that seed that you are, that sprung into the adult that you are, you were at least able to remove certain amount of weeds from around you that allowed that seed to grow. All too often, adults find themselves talking to kids, but they're talking to the weeds and not the seed. When I understand the weeds showing up, I don't talk to the weeds, I talk to the seed. And when you begin to understand the complexity of human beings and understand how each one of you process information differently, then it's critical that we understand that and don't alienate it, but embrace it and bring the strategies and techniques necessary to bring it to its full fruition. See? Do your thing, boy.
It's like a new formula. It's like something, a new way.
Oh, pause that for a minute, man.
So kids, you know, they're sitting there.
Bring that back, Tyler. Yeah, bring that back. Watch this. I went to Des Moines, Iowa for 1 week. And I took this process to Des Moines, Iowa Public Schools. And there was a charter school, which was an alternative school. And I introduced them to this idea that information equals money. 1 solid week, every day I was with these kids. Information equals money. Information equals money. We live in an era of the information era, but you ask the kids nowadays what era it is, they can't tell you. It's information and technology, where an algorithm becomes Facebook that becomes $50 billion. Anybody follow that? DJ, bring it back. An algorithm becomes Facebook, worth $50 billion. From what? Information. So I took it to these kids, and you're going to see the second young man. Every now and then, I think each one of us probably experienced this, where a kid just totally blows our mind. If you're around kids, this young man took this information and put his own twist on what I was saying. Hit it, Tyler.
Nobody's ever told us this before. Nobody's told us that's what it means. So it's like a new formula. It's like something, a new way to do something.
So kids, you know, they're sitting there, they're like, okay, so let's see, I got money in this hand and information in this hand. Mostly everyone's going to choose money because, you know, you can go to the store and, you know, you count the bills, you know, get this shirt and here's $20 for the shirt, you know, just saying. You can't go to the store and be like, okay, here's $20 worth of information and buy the shirt. You can't buy something with information. But then later on in life, you start collecting the information and you collect it, and then later on in life, you're going to take that information and you're going to be able to like cash it in and get a good job so that you can have that money so you can go to that store and buy that shirt.
Thank you, Tyler. Is that amazing? Yes. Information is a new currency, said Warren Buffett. There is no shortage of jobs, only a shortage of ideas. You know, I was telling someone about my book, Jack and the Sly Fox, and how if all of us here, picture the whole room here, houses a gift. And then picture if everybody fully manifested that gift. And I was sitting next to a person, and I said, imagine an impoverished area where everybody found their gifts. And to my surprise, she said, it would no longer be impoverished. If everyone found their gift, because the gift attracts the wealth. The full development of the gift is what attracts the wealth. There is no shortage of jobs, only a shortage of ideas. And that's what we are called upon to find. We relocated to Los Angeles. I'm going to speed this thing up real quick and get to the end of this. Doc Rivers came over. We did a big to-do with our boys, LA Clippers. Doc Rivers came. Look at the boys. They were fully engaged. They were fully engaged. I say to you, I submit to you that there is absolutely nothing wrong with our children at all. There is absolutely nothing wrong with our children at all. As a matter of fact, these are the most sophisticated human beings that has ever graced this planet.
Yes.
If you think you're good with your cell phone, hand it to your child. You think you got your little pictures all in a little post up, little tripled up, hand it to them. They'll make the thing darn fly out of the phone. You're talking about African American males who appear to be all disoriented, discombobulated, can't seem to put it together, so lost, but they created a billion-dollar industry called the rap industry. From out of the hood. And I tell teachers, the same information that you think those children won't go get, they'll go to find and make a rap song because they have a reward associated with it. What is the reward of education? So I come in with my cufflinks on, and I drive a 7 Series BMW, and Mr. West is flying all around the country. And I always come dressed the same way to school. And they keep having this vision and image impressed upon their minds. And soon enough, they want to wear suits. Pretty soon, they want to write books. Pretty soon, something within the human dynamic. See, it's what happens when you go from Neanderthal to Homo sapien. When you go from grunting and stooping over to actually coming erect because your idea is evolving you. You're reaching for a higher dynamic. But you have to ask yourself a question, especially mothers and fathers in the room. A critical question kids ask you without asking you is, how does that work for you? You better go to church. How's that working for you, Mom? You better go to college. How's that working for you, Mom? I just heard you say you were swamped in college loans. How's that working for you, Mom? Interesting. Years of research, working with that word. Easy for me to say. Disengaged students revealed the most critical factor in student-teacher learning paradigm is relationship building. Okay? I don't have time to do it this morning. Our group is so big, because normally I would have everybody get up, but I'm not going to do it, and meet everybody. So we don't. They're looking at me already and bringing, telling me I got to get out of here. But you've got to take relationship. Is anyone in the room? Does anybody consider themselves a professional? Expert relationship building? Expert? Any expert levels? Put all your hands down. I am an expert relationship builder. That's why as I came around the room and met Mildred back there today, hey Mildred, what's happening with you? Oh, what's your bad self? Met Jeff, is it Jeff? Yeah. Met Jeff today. Got a chance to meet Mr. Gill back there hanging out. What's going on with you, Mike? Did he say, you can't say Mike. Come on, man. Supposed to say sir. Mr. Sir. Okay. Got a chance to meet, so many people in the room because the people respond to who you are. And it's authentic, and they want the authentic you. And I remember Reuben Hurricane Carter. You remember the boxer Reuben Hurricane Carter? Because most people try to build relationships through talking or through listening, but there's one higher level of building relationships. Okay, anybody know what? Most people talk or they listen, but there's another higher level in terms of building relationship, and that is becoming. Reuben Hurricane Carter was on Oprah Winfrey, and he said when I was at dinner, Denzel Washington was going to play my role, and he said when we went to dinner, Denzel got up halfway through and went to the mirror and looked at himself, and he said, "I know the boy is pretty, but please, we're at dinner." And he said it was only when Denzel came back to the table that he realized what Denzel had done. He said Denzel went to the mirror to empty himself out so he could come and sit across from me and become me. I guarantee you, you can go for the next week, no, that's too soon. Go for the next month, no, forget that. Okay. Go for the next six months, no, wait. Go for the next year. Go take a whole year and see how many people take 15 minutes of time to talk or to listen to you without needing to talk about them. Watch this. They did a survey and found 98% of the time, absent of a traumatic situation, death or otherwise, the person sitting across from you is thinking about them. You are thinking about you. So as soon as you start talking, they want to hear about who? Who do you want to hear about? See a conflict? Relationship building is critical. And as we move forward in the conversation, here's a question before I leave. Is relationship building a natural part of the human makeup? Is relationship building something that comes indigenously? Is it something that is housed in us? How many people say that relationship building is a part of the human makeup? Raise your hand if you believe that to be true. Yes? Okay, a lot of people. How many people say no? Okay. How many people stop raising your hand after the 4th grade? It's amazing. Some people say, you're not going to trick me. If I don't raise my hand, I can't be wrong. I didn't say yes or no. So I'm on the team that won. Guess what? It's funny, right? But I just wrote a new children's book called I Raise My Hand. And I teach teachers how not to squash natural leadership. Teachers don't understand that they squash natural leadership by indirectly or directly not calling on the child who constantly raises his hand. And we do this and we don't understand it. We actually disable them from participating in conversations gradually through their education process by not calling on them. What I teach teachers is a word called brevity. Allow the natural leader to raise his or her hand as many times as they want. Teach them how to be brief. Do not squash a kid and keep a child from becoming a natural leader here. And kids who come from economically challenged backgrounds, many times the only way they can participate in your classroom is by talking. But at least they try to follow the rule by what? Raising their hand. This is critical work. The answer to this question, real quick, is it used to be. It used to be everybody who lived next door to each other knew each other. You took time to talk to each other. Hey, Bob. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Shaniqua. Whatever it was. Nowadays, you've got your remote control for your garage perfectly timed so you don't rip the roof off your car getting in your garage. You're hoping there is nobody standing outside that you have to talk to. You don't even know the person's name who lives across the peephole. And you're looking out the peephole hoping you don't have to say hello if they do come out. Throw in a few other subtleties in terms of the propaganda machine. He's wearing a turban, she's wearing this, he's black, he's white, and all of a sudden, now something mysterious appears on the wall when you walk by me. Hey, I can't see you if my eyes don't see you. Or my shoes all of a sudden got really interesting to me when you showed up. Hey, look at those babies. If I start stepping on your resume, feel free to yell out. Okay, so, oh my God, I'm done, man. You see, I'm telling you, man. What's your name? Zach. Zach, what's up, Zach? I'm just borrowing your energy sometimes. I'm doing all this because when I sit down, the speaker's gonna be nodding. Hey Dan, where's those 5-hour energy drinks you're supposed to bring me? Okay, as we finish up real quick, the #1 rule in relationship building is know thyself. Right? Everybody says right? Yeah. Right. Why? How you gonna know somebody else if you don't know yourself? How you gonna know someone else if you don't know yourself? Okay, relationship building. Why? Anybody else got that? Come on, real quick before I go. Ooh, if you don't know yourself, you'll try to be others. That's good. Anybody else want to take a shot at that? What you got, Big Dog? I mean, man. But when you're around, listen, here's another thing. When you're around kids so much, your jargon shifts. Your jargon shifts. Because you have to be down. They're always checking your down quotient. I think I made up a word there, Zach. Down quotient. Okay, pay me when you use that. All right, what you got to do, man? You got anything on that? I mean, in terms of, why you got to know yourself?
You got to know yourself before you know anybody else.
That's critical. Watch this. Remember I said that the kids are professional button pushers. I want you to not start looking at how you see kids. I want you to start asking yourself a critical question. And what is that question? How do they see you? Children sit at a very low level when they're 6 months old and 1 year old. When they can't talk, they just what? And they do what? Feel. They watch and feel. So therefore, I have to teach my teachers something called proximity. That you're sending a message to a child through your either a positive proximity or lack of proximity to help. The child you reach over and take his pen, that's proximity in the positive. The child you step back and say, can you do that? They heard what you said. It's very critical that we understand that the #1 rule is to know yourself, because I have to know every button because my kids push them all. As I wrap this morning, I think I want to leave you with this. 7% of your words, I didn't ask you the question, 55% by, you all seen the chart, right? That your words only represent 7% of how a child hears you. 7%. Before I would have set you up and asked you the question, but I got to go. Most people say 50%. Like on how you're hearing me today. Most people say 50%, 60% are your words. 7% is how you're hearing me. The rest is body language and tone. So therefore, if you want to speak to your child, create an experience for your child. Create an experience so powerful, and don't tell them about it before you take them. Take them to the greatest library here. Take them to a campus and say, Mom and Dad, why are we doing this? Just come and walk with me. Take them to an opera. Take them somewhere where the experience is so profound, and then let their mind, like Earl Woods put a golf club in Tiger's hands at what? 2 years old. Our brain learns through images. Present an image to your child that you want the child to become. And if you put multiple images in front of the child, you may be surprised to find when he says to you, that's me right there. But if all their image is poverty, if all their image is TV telling them they're nothing, if all the image is even subtle, that's not good. You're not good. Then they start saying, I don't like that image. And has anyone asked themselves, what is the next step from sagging? What is the next attire move from sagging? Huh? Belt? No, listen. Think about if you go one step beyond sagging, what are you actually doing to society? It's called mooning. Interesting. What you are speaks so loudly I can't hear what you're saying. And I'll move on from that. Last part, if you're breathing, you're communicating. Everybody check to see if you're breathing. Okay. Sometimes I do have dead folks that just I just kill them. They just fall out. They're dead. Okay. You didn't want to even roll with me and help me or nothing. The question is, are you communicating on purpose that what you're communicating without saying a word? And finally, I want to leave you with, I'm going to send this PowerPoint off. I'm not going to be able to get through all this. I had hired me up there. See, that's a beautiful piece in terms of the 5 things you can do to help your youth produce amazing results. The first one, of course, is what? Hire your boy. That is shameless. Oh my God. How did he get away with it? I love it. Help your young people understand the connection between information and future finances. Information is quantifiable. Every young person needs a mentor. Oh, this is critical. For the Gates Millennium Grant, it's a $250,000 grant. Is anybody familiar with the Gates Millennium Grant? Yes. $250,000. One of the things consistently they found is every awardee of the high-level grant had a mentor. Every one. Critical. Create a village. In LA, we've created a village through LAUSD school system of a community just like this, a village that is committed to our boys. 15 schools are involved in this process. And finally, access resources and pathways. I'm done because they're just done. Go to Gallup at gallup.org and look at the HOPE study that they've done. They found that 50% of our kids are hopeful, 33% consider themselves stuck, and 17% are discouraged. So that means 50% of our kids consider themselves hopeless. Having optimism when pessimism is everywhere. That's what my acronym is for HOPE. And finally, inside every black boy lives a king. Speak to that king, and the king in him will respond. This is critical work that we find ourselves in. And I'm saying today as I close, that this room to me is so dynamic because of the energy that is in this room. And you guys probably are around each other every day. We pass each other every day in one form or fashion. And familiarity can breed contempt. Bring that back to EJ. Familiarity can breed contempt. And familiarity can also remove the ability for you to see the power that's in the room, unless it's independent and isolated. I say to you that this room is a superstar team. This is the team that's coming together, putting everything else behind us, and starting today is that moment, that galvanizing moment. And to say, you know what? Forget about what we think independently. Because it's almost like the boat thing, right? The person's on the other side of the boat with you, and they're punching holes in their side of the boat. This is my side of the boat. I can punch holes in my side if I want to, Wes. No, you can't, Zach. Wes, leave me alone. Bam, bam, bam. Zach, we've got a problem. We're both gonna see. That's what's up, right? So today I encourage you to make a recommitment to greatness. I always, in terms of coming into contact with human beings, understand that intelligence is fluid. That means that within us, we house tomorrow, and not in the cliche way of saying so. And especially for our young men of color. And this is, and lastly, when you think about this in LA, we don't have a lot of rain. So we're in a big drought, right? So the last few days it's been raining, and we were happy. Because you're LA, you don't like rain. But we make allowances for rain because of what? The need, right? So we make a need for our boys, our African-American boys, our boys of color. And we say to them, listen, I know who you are, and I know who you're capable of being. So I encourage you, Ms. Egan, to go forth and today find a way, as you come together now through this conversation, and say, what can I do? What do I need to do? How do I need to go back and defrag my computer? How do I need to understand my filtering system? How can I be that one? I've got to say this. It does not take a whole bunch of people to effectuate change. It takes one committed human being to have an idea that's so profound and so pronounced that they literally vibrate that idea, and everyone else comes together around that idea. We've seen it in Martin, we've seen it in Mandela. So I encourage you to do that and go forth and to bring this planet the power of your purpose. Thank you very much for allowing me to be with you today. It's been a pleasure. Have a powerful day.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Hall. You know, it's funny, the one quote that I printed from some of the readings that I did about Mr. Hall before he spoke was having optimism when pessimism is everywhere. So I just, see, I go, yeah, no joke. So I'm so impressed with the message that he sends. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you all for being here. I did forget my lovely spouse, Connie. I'm embarrassed a little bit there, okay. And now Trinette Lottie Harts, if you'd like to come and close, please.
That's a wise man.
I hope you enjoyed yourselves. We have many other activities going on this weekend. Well, first of all, my name is Trinette Lottie Harps, and I'm Dean of Community Outreach. And we have been really excited for this weekend. There has been a lot of work done, and I would like for the two committees that made this weekend happen, or if you have been a part of it, please stand quickly. If you are responsible for today, tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday happening, please stand. Let's give them a hand. I also would like to announce that Mr. Hall has books available. If you would like to purchase his books, it will be available in the hallway, and he will be available to sign them as well. The next activity is scheduled for tomorrow, and it will take place, as Superintendent Ross stated, at Muskegon Heights High School tomorrow at 9:30 for a meet and greet with Mr. Hall. We also have other panelists, DJ Hilson, Judge Pittman, and Fred Johnson. We ask that you come. This event is for the community, and we would like for you to be present to be able to continue on with dialogue and information of what's going on in Muskegon County along with Mr. Hall. And we're grateful to Muskegon Heights schools for hosting this. On Sunday, January 18th, celebrating MLK, there will be a symbolic peace march at 5 p.m. starting at Central United Methodist. And then ending up at Mount Zion Church of God in Christ. And this, after that, will be a commemorative service following the march. And then on Monday, the conclusion, January 19th, at 10 a.m., there will be a food truck at Hackley Administration Building. At 11:30 a.m., a free chili luncheon at Central United Methodist. And immediately following, the MLK Community Celebration Program. We ask that you come and help us celebrate Martin Luther King. This is what it's about. There's diversity in the room. There are a lot of people that have carried the torch. And if I may do this, if you have done anything to make a difference, would you please stand? If you've done anything to make a difference, please stand. I think that's everybody, right? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and continue making a difference. Oh, I'm sorry. I have one more announcement. I am so sorry. If you can please sit after I had you standing, because I had to do this. I have to do this. Baker College has an event that's taking place, African Americans in the Military. And this is January 19th through 22nd at Baker College in the meeting room. And the USS Silversides is proud to present this exhibit on African Americans in the military that briefly highlights their many wonderful and lasting contributions. Please go and check it out and just be supportive and learn more. Have a powerful day.